Hi everybody, Kim here. Glad to be coming to you from Ukraine, from our home. We're super glad to be back. It just feels good to be in our own house, in our own space. We have privacy as a family. We have a family life, which is really, really nice. I felt like when we were in Germany, it was like we weren't even a family. I mean, we were like one big, huge group of people and our family was all there, but it wasn't like we were able to be like a family unit. So that's really nice. And I mean, there's a lot to get used to about life here. Like so much of it feels just like normal, but then there's other things that feel, you know, a lot different because we're in a country that's at war. I mean, I have to talk to our kids about, it was a big question before we came back home. Like, what do we do about our kids? Like, we have teenagers. They want to go to town. We live in the village. They want to go to town and be with their friends. And, you know, before the war, yes, like go get on the bus, go to town, be with your friends. Let me know when you're on the way home. And they have a lot of freedom. From a young age, they can have a lot of freedom in that way. But now it's like, like, do we give them that same amount of freedom or do we rein it in a little bit? Like, what is the right thing to do? Like, I don't know. I don't think that there's a right answer to that. So I just had to have a lot of conversations about like, you know, what do you do if you're in town and there's an air raid siren? You know, like, do you try to find a place to go? Do you just make, you know, if you're in a store, you need to exit the store. But I mean, I don't know, it's easier said than done because a lot of times when you're in town and there's an air raid siren, like there's not an easily accessible bomb shelter. So, I mean, if you're in a store, like we just say, go out of the store. Which now a lot of stores are actually like closing when there's an air raid siren so that people will exit. But yeah, just having those kind of conversations, trying to decide like what to do about school. I know we had told you before that schools in our city being in session was one of our like criteria for coming back. And so the law is right now that only schools that have bomb shelters are allowed to meet in person in September, and other schools will have to just be online. Our school used to be, the building used to be an orphanage, so it actually has a bomb shelter. And so they're planning on being in person starting in September, like normal. But like on Telegram, you know, you can follow channels and I follow the channel for our city's Department of Education. And they did a poll, like how many people are going to send their kids to school in person and how many online and how many undecided, and like only like 29%, I think, said that they're going to send their kids in person. And then there was all these comments of people like, how could you consider putting your kid in school? Like, you irresponsible parents and da-da-da-da-da. But then there's the other side of it where it's like, there was COVID. And so kids were out of school then, or in and out of school. And then there was the war, and like, kind of like with letting our kids go to town to be with their friends. Like our kids are in town right now with their friends. Like, you have to you have to live your life. And we want our kids to, like, we want to use wisdom, but we also want our kids to be able to live life and not just be here in the village on our property 24/7. I mean, that's not, I don't know. I don't like that. So we decided to send our kids to school like normal. Our Seth has some special kind of needs educationally, and so in the past we've had assistance with him at school, like one-on-one, but it seems like it's gonna be me, so I'll be at the school, you know, at least 3 days a week. Yeah, but our kids are gonna go to school. It's just weird to have to think about that and make those kind of decisions about like safety. And I mean, our kids' school isn't right in the center of the city. It's like on the edge of town, and I don't know. I want to hear their safety plan, but I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think we just have to try to walk and live in this spirit and hear from the Lord if something doesn't feel right. Yeah, it's really weird, you guys. It's really weird. our team is working together good. I mean, it's weird because there was people that the guys on our team couldn't leave the country. So they've been here the whole time. One of the girls from our team has been back and forth. The rest of us were in Germany, and then we sent Anton back early. And now we're all here and we're all together, and we have to find our new rhythm. We have to figure out how we move forward. We are very clear, we're laser focused on our vision, but the nuts and bolts of how it all plays out in day-to-day life and the details and the organizational things, it takes a lot to get this ship turned in the right direction. Plus, we're minus 2 really important team members. 2 members of our team decided not to return to Ukraine. And that is a big loss for us. It's a big hole, 2 big holes. And so trying to understand, how do we do this without them? And what do we just not do right now that we had done before? Because it's kind of foolish for us to think that everything's gonna look exactly like it looked before. We're in the middle of a war. We have 2 more boys because we took Yaroslav and Vova out of the institution straight to Germany. So they're here with us. We have 2 more boys and 2 less team members. So vital team members. I mean, everybody's vital, but they took on a lot of responsibility. So trying to understand, what do we let go of that we were doing before and hold on for, like, when we're more, hold on to those ideas, but implement them later. Or what do we do differently? Who's gonna pick up the slack? Who's gonna fill in those holes? And plus a bunch of our team members have vacation days that they need to take. And so we just hired 2 temporary assistants to help us to fill in some of those days of helping us care for the guys. And for now, it's just gonna be temporary, but we'll see. We'll see how they like it, how we like it, having them with us. So that's kind of exciting to get new perspective and new blood in here. The boys are doing great. They're all doing really, really well. You know, there's behaviors and stuff that happen with adjusting to back being home, being all together, but they're happy, they're thriving, they're doing really well. You know, in normal life, we would never take 2 more boys out of the institution unless we had like house parents or live-in assistants to live with them. But this is not normal time. And we did take Yaroslav and Vova out of the institution. I totally believe it was the right thing to do. But now we're back here and we don't have anybody to live with them. Yeah, 2 Masha and Masha, who live with them right now, are only gonna be living there till the end of the month. One Masha is gonna go live in an apartment, and the other Masha is getting married. Actually, Oleg and Masha, 2 of our team members, are marrying each other. So that's really exciting at the end of the month. So there won't be anybody to live on that side with them. So I think it's gonna be Jed. Well, it's gonna be Jed. There's no other prospects. And you know, when we were in Germany, when I was just like hating life so much, I was like, oh my word, I thought it was so bad when Jed lived in the duplex with Anton and Sasha, and I lived in our house, and we weren't able to live together because Jed lived in the duplex with Anton and Sasha for like the last 6 months before the war while we waited for Grant to come. And I was like, I would go back to that in a heartbeat rather than living here in the church with all these people in Germany. Well, now Jed's gonna live in the duplex again, and so I'm eating my words because yeah, I would still rather him live right there and me here than all of us together in Germany. But what I'd really love is to live with my husband in our house together. That would be the ultimate. So yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. We have 0 prospects for house parents, live-in assistants. God's gonna have to do a miracle. So yeah, you can pray for us for that. I don't look forward to the end of the month when Jed has to move over there, but it's okay. He's just across the yard, and we've done it before. We could do it again. But yeah, you could pray for that. We really do need people to live with our boys in a beautiful house right behind our house. Yeah, but otherwise, everything is good. And Next week, when I do the video, I hope to give you a video tour of the property, just kind of remind you where everything is, what it looks like here, and see our new building project, which I'll reveal to you next week. It's a little bit of a surprise, so it's kind of exciting, but we'll talk to you later. Bye. Momentum is building. Eat the pizza. Молода вовчиця.
Кидай в нас.
Вова, співай.
Руслан, прив топу. Ми були серце.
Антон. Pinky! Pinky's happy! Are you happy, Pinky? Yeah.